Are you struggling to get 120Hz working on your PS5 with your Samsung TV? You're not alone. This video will guide you through troubleshooting and setting up your devices for optimal performance. The core issue lies in HDMI compatibility and settings, which we'll address step by step. Often, the problem stems from incorrect HDMI ports, outdated firmware, or improper settings on either your PS5 or TV. To achieve 4K at 120Hz, both your PS5 and Samsung TV need HDMI 2.1 ports. The PlayStation 5 comes equipped with an HDMI 2.1 port on the back, ready for high-speed connections. HDMI 2.1 offers significantly higher bandwidth at 48 GB compared to HDMI 2.0's 18 GB. Check your Samsung TV's manual to identify HDMI 2.1 ports, which are sometimes specifically labeled. If your TV only has HDMI 2.0, you might be limited to 60 Hz at 4K or need to drop to a lower resolution like 1440p for 120 Hz. To optimize your PS5 settings for 120 Hz, start by navigating to the Settings menu. Go to Screen and Video, then Video Output. This is where you'll configure the display settings. In the Video Output section, ensure the resolution is set to 4K if your Samsung TV supports 4K resolution. This maximizes visual quality while preparing for 120 Hz. Next, check that Enable 120 Hz output is turned on. This allows the PS5 to output at 120 Hz refresh rate for compatible games, providing smoother gameplay. Keep in mind that while PS5 system settings enable 120 Hz output, some games may require you to activate 120 Hz specifically within their in-game options for it to work. Finally, under Video Output Information, verify that the settings are set to Automatic. This allows the PS5 to automatically adjust resolution and refresh rate based on your TV's capabilities. To configure your Samsung TV for PS5 120 Hz support, start by navigating to the Settings menu. Your TV's settings menu might look like this, with options for picture, sound, and other features. From Settings, select Picture, then Expert Settings. The exact menu path may vary by TV model. In Expert Settings, you'll find options like Picture Mode and Expert Settings themselves. Find HDMI UHD color and enable it for the HDMI port connected to your PS5. This unlocks the full bandwidth potential of HDMI 2.1, allowing 4K 120 Hz output. HDMI UHD color ensures your TV can handle the higher bandwidth needed for 120 Hz, as shown in this comparison of HDMI versions. Next, activate Game Mode to reduce input lag. This is crucial for smooth gaming and typically disables picture processing features that add delay. Game Mode is often shown in the Quick Settings or menu, like this remote control view of the TV interface. With HDMI UHD color and game mode enabled, your Samsung TV is now optimized for PS5 120 Hz gaming. Outdated firmware on your PS5 or Samsung TV can prevent 120 Hz compatibility. Always ensure both devices run the latest firmware versions. For your PS5, navigate to Settings, then System Software, and select Update to check for and install any available updates. For your Samsung TV, access the Settings menu to check for software updates, or visit Samsung's support website for model-specific instructions. Firmware updates released in late 2025 resolved many 120 Hz compatibility problems between PS5 and Samsung TVs. Still having trouble? First, ensure you're using a certified ultra-high-speed HDMI cable. Cheap or older cables may not support the necessary bandwidth. Try power cycling both your PS5 and Samsung TV. Unplug them for a minute, then plug them back in. This can resolve temporary glitches. You can also try resetting HDMI settings on both devices to their defaults and reconfiguring them. Not all PS5 games support 120 Hz refresh rates. Check the game's in-game settings or the PlayStation Store listing to confirm compatibility. Some games offer 120 Hz only at lower resolutions, like 1440p or 1080p instead of full 4K. This creates a trade-off between visual quality and smooth gameplay. Experiment with different resolutions to find the best balance between visual fidelity and refresh rate for your specific setup and game. HDMI 2.1 is becoming the standard for modern gaming, ensuring higher bandwidth and better compatibility. Keep an eye on future technologies like HDMI 3.0, which promises even more capabilities. Experts emphasize that HDMI 2.1 is essential for achieving smooth 120Hz gameplay on your PS5 with Samsung TVs. If you're still facing issues, consider upgrading to a newer TV with guaranteed HDMI 2.1 support. This will provide the best compatibility and future-proof your setup. Stay updated with firmware releases from both Sony and Samsung to ensure optimal performance. Forums like Reddit and PlayStation forums are great resources for troubleshooting and sharing solutions with other users. Check these communities for the latest tips and fixes.